Does love a final. That's a stat that you want, isn't it? 100%. So a high win percentage. He's had an incredible junior career. Coached by Rob Owen. He'll definitely be up to watch this one, so shout out to you, Rob. You're doing a fantastic job at West Warwick's. He's taken down some great players in this tournament so far, Jonah. Round one, Bernat Jean, 63 minutes, 5-set match. And then in round two, Leonel Cardenas, an 84 minutes, 5-set match. So I tell you, there's not many players that can back up as physically as maybe Jonah Bryant is going to do tonight. He's going to have to do a lot of front court movements, so that's going to be tested right away. But he's just a young lad, and he's getting stronger and stronger. Doing a lot of work with Rob Norman as well, as strength and conditioning coach back home. Tarek Momen, the number 3 seed. It's been as high as 3. Currently 7. Feels like it's been a very long time that he's been inside the top 10. 36 years of age. One of the most experienced players on the tour. So these players have never met on the PSA Squash Tour. Fantastic opportunity here, isn't it, Chris, for Jonah? A big test, but these are the sort of matches now that he is looking to compare himself against. It's all just data, it's feedback at this point. He can pretty much have a fearless good go at Tarek Momen.
Yeah, no, absolutely. This is a fantastic scenario for Jonah Bryant. He's already had a phenomenal tournament, taking out Bernat Jean, and then the big win yesterday against Leonel Cardenas. Certainly had a lot of work in his legs, but he's got support there from Stuart Crawford. And I think in this scenario, moving over to this glass court in the theater will just be a motivator for him. It's a great venue. He'll be excited to be out here. And he really has nothing to lose here against Tarek Momen.
5 games. Level.
So Jonah Bryant, named after Jonah Barrington, serves to start this last men's quarterfinal. Well straightened from Tarek Momen. Fast and furious opening rally between these two.
Yeah, I think in these early stages, Momen's going to ask some pretty serious questions of the movement of Jonah Bryant. He's going to be very cognizant that Bryant's backing up 2 5-game matches, and he's just going to want to try and test him physically in these early exchanges.
He lives about 2 minutes away from the West Warwick Squash Club in the Midlands.
2-1.
Certainly not being shy about attacking the front corners in the early stages here, Jonah Bryant.
And out.
To be honest, it's not a bad tactic, because you know Momen is going to want to go into those front corners, and in some ways, if you go in there before Momen does, you actually can take away his attack and to some degree.
Do you remember that shift from juniors to senior squash?
Yeah, I think for me it was a little bit different, because obviously Jonah Bryant turned pro right after junior squash at 18, but now that shift is a little bit more fluid because so many players are going to university after their junior career. So I feel like there isn't quite the same amount of pressure now on players to come through really quickly and be like, 21, 22 years of age and pushing into the top 50 in the world. Where I feel like 20 years ago, when my generation was coming through, pretty much everyone was turning pro at 18.
3-4.
So everyone was already playing PSA tournaments at 17, 16. So that transfer to junior to senior squash got a little bit blurred, to be honest.
Jonah Bryant and Mohamed Zakaria seem to be doing a pretty good job. Both have been in the final of the British Junior Open. Zakaria won that, but then Jonah Bryant went on to beat him at the Irish Open.
Yeah, well, I think one of the things that Jonah Bryant has done really well watching these early stages of his career is he's done a really good job of picking which tournaments he's playing. He's picked tournaments where he can potentially have a bit of success, get through a couple rounds, but he's also chosen events where he's in areas where he's well prepared and comfortable to take on top players, and he's always given himself the best chance to perform. You don't see him particularly playing these long strings of events back to back to back, or flying backwards and forwards across the world where he's playing in suboptimal conditions.
Down. 6-3.
So starting to make a move, Tarek Momen. Physicality has certainly improved from Bryant since I've seen him last in the juniors. Just the strength in the legs, explosive movements, repetitively. He's looking like a strong boy.
No, Jonah Bryant has a really good balance in his game between the physicality to defend, but also using that physical aspect to get himself in good positions to attack.
I can only imagine the sort of sessions he's been doing with Rob Owen at West Warwick.
Right side,
Whether it be
7-3.
pressure sessions or circuits, ghosting.
Down and out. 4-7.
Well, he's made the court really big there, Momen.
8.
He's done a good job here, Momen, of just keeping the ball out of Bryant's hitting zone, making the court really big for the Englishman.
Down and out. 5-8.
Have you played Tarek Momen?
Yes, I have actually played Tarek Momen, but a long time ago.
I feel like he's the sort of player that you have to just play him once to understand how he plays. You can't really get into the... He's quite deceptive, isn't he? And he's obviously... His shot selection is very different to other players, where he's predominantly using the front two corners. I just feel like he's the sort of player that you need to play once to then have another proper good go at it.
Yeah, well, I think the thing with Tarek Momen, especially when I played him years ago, he was attacking even more than he is now, if you can imagine that. But the thing that makes him a little bit unique comparatively to a lot of other top players is he attacks a lot from behind you, from the back corners. So there are a lot of positions you'll be in that you think are fairly neutral or safe positions, and he's slicing balls into the front corner.
No let. Played a winning shot. I needed you to go and play the ball. Player review Moment on the no let decision.
Well, the review from Tarek Momen. Certainly not a winning shot.
Yeah, I'm not sure this is getting changed though, Lisa, because the thing is Momen's found a way through Jonah Bryant, and then he's asked for the let after he's gone through.
No let decision upheld. Moment has one review remaining. 7-8. Please play on, Mr. Momen.
Well, and this is where Jonah Bryant can be pretty dangerous, because he even...
Oh.
Well, talking about dangerous, Lisa.
8-all.
So going back to the original point, he doesn't get too high or too low. He was up against the kosh for much of this game against Momen, but he was just patient, working his way around the court, and gradually worked his way back into the game.
Yes, let. 8-all.
I just read that a little bit too late.
9-8.
I find him fascinating to watch. I've only watched him before a few years ago in juniors. Very balanced, as you would expect from Rob Owen. Technique near immaculate, really. It's very aesthetically pleasing. He's got such a relaxedness about his movement as well.
Yeah, he's really smooth. When he gets the ball into his hitting zone, he really hits his targets absolutely superbly.
Oh, talk about targets. Lovely counter drop from Momen.
10-8.
Giving him 2 game balls.
It's good pressure here from Momen.
11-8. Game to Momen.
He's sprinting off that court, Jonah Bryant.
"12 minutes. Pretty tightly contested first game, really. Business end in Tarek Momen's favour. Number 3 seed takes the opening game 11-8 in 12 minutes.
Well, a very solid start to this quarterfinal from Egypt's Tarek Momen. He was very composed. He didn't do anything too ostentatious with the ball. He made the court really big for England's Jonah Bryant. He had a pretty big lead when we were getting into the middle stages of the game, but Jonah Bryant never panicked, kept battling, and worked his way back into the game. he leveled things out at 7 apiece, and then Momen took it up a gear and started to make the court really big. Found a way to get through Bryant in that first game.
They will resume in 30 seconds. Fifteen seconds. Momen leads 1 game to love. Love all.
Well, I think getting that first game under his belt will settle Tarek Momen down quite a bit. Start finding his range even more. He was pretty solid in that first game, but he was also fairly cautious in terms of how aggressive his attacks were. He'll be very aware, Tarek Momen, of Jonah Bryant moving up the rankings quite rapidly.
Yeah, I was just thinking that as well, especially with the wins that he's getting against players like Cardenas as well. He'll want to not take this too lightly and almost send a message in a way. I see you coming, is what he's saying, but also this is top 10 level.
Yeah, no, it's an important one for Momen because there were a few moments in the first half of the season where Momen did look a little bit vulnerable at times. And against a player like Jonah Bryant, who has a pretty big profile for a young player and is just reaching into the top 50 in the world, Momen will want to send a message.
Down. 4-1 left.
Well, it's been a great start here for Momen. Just looked really sharp. Bryant's trying to answer back, though. He's being really positive across the middle, Jonah Bryant. Trying to keep this pace quite active.
That is the definition of stretching out the court, making this very difficult.
5-1 from the right.
Well, it's one of those things that makes Momen so tricky because he's able to really inject tremendous amounts of pace and make things very frantic and all over the place, but he's also able to slow it down with a lot of severity in his hitting at the same time. So it's a very unusual mix that Momen possesses.
Not up. 6-1.
Yeah, it's nice finish.
7-1.
So one-way traffic here in the second game.
Down.
Yeah, it's really clean there for Momen. He really opens the racket face, slicing the ball, fading it into the side wall.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's immaculate, Lisa.
9-1.
Yeah, it's tough to come up against Tarek Momen when he's seen the ball this cleanly.
Your shot selection as well, though, from Bryant. Just that ball not quite in a position to be cross-courted accurately.
Okay, 9-1. Stroke to Bryant. Mr. Bryant, I think it's your shoes. When you're lunging, there's some sort of powder coming off your shoes.
Powder?
You haven't got any other shoes, no? Okay, all right. Hand out 2-9.
He's obviously been hitting the foot powder in the locker room at the Cleveland Skating Club. You know, the white powder you shake on the inside of the feet after the shower in the private clubs.
The talcum powder.
Yeah, the talcum powder. There you go.
Court service, please.
I think it's just where the back leg trails, kind of rips up the shoe, doesn't it? His lead leg is the right leg, so the trail leg would be the left, and it's just worn away his shoe. Starting to produce quite a big hole. He might consider a new pair.
Yeah, there's obviously a fairly strong emotional attachment to that particular pair because it's pretty worn out.
Maybe he could use his prize money from this event. Also is just when your shoes are proper comfy as well, when they're just about to go, like your strings on the racket. They're always singing sweetly and then they pop.
Left side, 3-9.
Much more positive rally, isn't it, for Bryant?
Down.
It's the first rally really in this second game that he's really had Momen on the ropes under a lot of pressure.
4-9.
Yeah, still quite a sizable gap
and
to
out.
make up.
10-4 game ball.
Game ball for Tarek Momen for a 2-love lead.
He's been really good here, Tarek Momen. He's been really composed. Whenever Jonah Bryant's put together a really good rally, Momen's just gone back to basics.
5-10. Game ball.
Rapid.
11-5, game to Momen.
Second time lucky, Tarek Momen. Managing to accumulate a lot of pressure here on the youngster. It's a tough pace that he's playing as well, isn't it? Always making Jonah Bryant hit up and defend, stretching out the court brilliantly. 10-minute second game. Tarek Momen, the number 3 seed, takes a 2-games-to-love lead.
Well, Tarek Momen starting to really find his range there in the second game. He was on song, creating all kinds of pressure. Jonah Bryant starting to look a little bit heavy in the legs. He produced some fantastic rallies, but Momen always had a response and always found a way to up the pace, make things difficult on the Englishman. Got Bryant into some extremely heavy movements, and we started to see some real vintage Momen.
60 seconds. They resume in 30 seconds. Fifteen seconds.
See Jonah Bryant trying to
lead.
inject a bit of pace into that ball, warming it up, getting
Level.
some heat back into it. He's obviously feeling like Tarek Momen is starting to take advantage of the ball going slightly spongy, getting a bit more benefit from his attacks than he was earlier in the match.
Thank you, thank you. And now, one love.
Yeah,
Slow boards first.
Yeah, it's a good squeeze there from Jonah Bryant. I think we're going to see some nice squash from the Englishman here. It's sort of now or never, Lisa, so he can really throw the kitchen sink at Momen. We certainly know he produces racket skill. So you combine that with this sort of score line where it can be no holds barred. Just lines up for some really pleasing squash.
Better tee position from Bryant. It's a lot higher up in the court now.
Down.
Another good squeeze as well.
Four love.
Has to find a way to keep staying in front of Momen.
Down. And out. 1-4.
Yeah, it really is matching Momen across the middle, not getting stuck behind Momen.
It's nice. This is brilliant from Bryant.
Out. 5-1.
He's finding his targets in all four corners now. Hunting the volley.
Down.
Yeah, he's come off this mentally, Momen. Bryant's really gotten everything right this third game. He's asking all the hard questions a moment at the moment.
I bet Jonah Bryant has never had to move like this in a match before. Because he's so deceptive. He's difficult to read, Tarek Momen, so he's always having to just hold his ground that bit longer, Bryant.
Oh, it's accurate there from Momen. Great angle, squeezing the ball in along the side wall. He's not giving this one up, Momen. Doesn't want this match getting extended into a fourth game.
It's a good variation from Bryant. Really just caught Momen on his heels. Perfect time in the match to bring that shot out. That's brilliant. He's really sparked up here, Bryant. He looked really out of sorts, actually, after that second game physically.
Yeah.
Oh, to be 19 again, Chris.
Yeah, no, he's found another gear here, Bryant. And he's taken full advantage of any loose ball that Momen's playing.
Oh my goodness. Double dive. Oh, right in the neck. Talk about pressure.
I can't see anything.
Yeah, they're not too much sweat, really, that was going to interfere the play there. The ball never really going back into that left service box where the sweat mark was.
Well, that's exactly the rally Tarek Momen needed. Needed something to take the edge off the movement of Bryant. Just wind him physically.
His lines are nice, aren't they? There's two squeezes on the backhand wall and then one into the front right. Always catching the floorboards first on his drop shot, so important. Using the cut to get the ball going towards the side wall, making it difficult for Momen.
Down, 10-5, game ball.
So well-deserved game ball, 5 of them for Jonah Bryant.
And out, 6-10, game ball.
Shout serve. Oh, that's clever. Shaped up to go cross court.
2 games to 1.
Absolutely fantastic squash there from Jonah Bryant. Brilliant response after being absolutely nowhere near the second game at all. Nine minutes. Jonah Bryant, the 19-year-old Englishman, has a point on the scoreboard here. Tarek Momen still leads 2 games to 1.
Well, what a response from England's Jonah Bryant. Showed absolutely no fear there. Taking the game to Tarek Momen, he pushed up the court, he pushed himself physically and put tremendous amounts of pressure on Tarek Momen. Bryant looked so positive in his hitting, and any time that Momen came back at him physically, Bryant had the response. So now Bryant has pulled a game back and set up a very awkward situation for Tarek Momen.
60 seconds. They resume in 30 seconds. Fifteen seconds. Momen leads 2 games to 1. Bryant to serve. Lovell.
So big response required from Tarek Momen.
Yeah, I just feel like when Jonah Bryant went 2-love down there on the game score, all the pressure released, and he's just completely let his arm go, and he's really throwing the kitchen sink at Tarek Momen.
Down.
Yeah, there was a big shift, wasn't there, from the way that he approached the second game almost after the first few rallies. You could see the belief start to diminish, so I'd love to know what was said from Stuart Crawford in between games.
The other thing to add to this, Lisa, is Tarek Momen can become a little bit anxious, and when he gets anxious, he can start clipping that top of the tin.
Two love. Out. 1-2.
Must say this, I feel like these early exchanges are probably a little bit more important for Momen than they are for Jonah Bryant, because you feel like Jonah Bryant is playing with house money. There's no real pressure here. He's had a fantastic tournament up to this point, and he's starting to create a really uncomfortable position for Momen, where Momen has all that expectation that he needs to get through, And he has all that experience as well, where people are expecting him to get through. And everything was going relatively comfortably, and Jonah Bryant just threw a wrench in the works in that third game.
Yeah, I saw no interference there, so it's
Oh
no
dear.
net.
I just thought I was going to hit him. I don't want to hurt him.
Yeah, it was minimal.
He's
3-2
just
Bryant.
stopped for safety here. He wasn't sure quite where Momen was in his backswing.
Yeah,
Jason Foster just saying interference minimal.
Yeah, I must say, Lisa, I think that might be just a little bit lack of experience at the top level.
Yes,
Because I think if you go down to the Challenger Tour, they give that as a let 9 times out of 10 or 8 times out of 10 just for that safety, especially with a player like Jonah Bryant, who's obviously not really looking to take advantage of the situation. He's just wants to reset the rally. He doesn't want to potentially clip Momen, where I think here at the top end you just have to hit it and hope for the best.
And guess what? If you clip him, you get a stroke.
At the top level, the gloves really do come off.
Four, three.
But this is also the area where Jonah Bryant's demeanor is so good and plays such a role in his performance, because he didn't let that decision affect him one way or the other. He's just so neutral, where a lot of other young players, that would start to fluster them and they'd feel like they'd lost an unnecessary point and things could start to get away from them.
I'll tell you what, Chris. It had to be that good. It had to be that wide. The pickups from Bryant here, I mean, these are some of Tarek Momen's best drop shots. That was a tough, tough rally for the Englishman. His movement almost getting better as this match unfolds.
4-all.
Sometimes can be that way, can it, when you've had two really tough 5-setters. You're a bit stiff to start. Once the engines are going, they're going.
This is rapid, Lisa. It's good retrieving here from Bryant.
Oh, wow. Oh, goodness me, got that back.
Yes, lad.
Oh, I'm just on the edge of my seat waiting for that decision to come in. That was an absolutely incredible rally. Rally of the night, 100%. I want to see that all again. Poker face now, though, isn't it? Even if you're feeling it, Chris.
Yeah, it was a fantastic rally, and I think it probably wasn't even, it might have even been worth a review, to be honest. Because in a lot of ways, Momen put himself in a bad position there. Bryant just not wanting to risk the review, though. Deadlocked at 4 apiece.
Yes, lad. 4-all. I think you needed to clear a bit better. 4-all.
That is a big error from Momen.
And
The
out.
ball was in a good area and he's completely misjudged it.
Talking about demeanor, Chris, I really feel the belief is well and truly there at this point from Bryant. He looks to be in a little bit of discomfort though physically.
Well, you just get the feeling he's putting his head down and working through here.
He'll have been through way worse in training, that's for sure.
Down.
That was a clever angle there, Lisa. Bryant's gotten into that front corner really quickly. We haven't really seen him play that trickle boast yet tonight. He's whipped it in twice that rally, offsetting Tarek Momen.
He played it once in that third game, sorry, and got a winner from it. It's very mature. That movement.
5-6.
Yeah, it's a tired error there from Bryant, and it's not just the physical side of it, Lisa, it's the mental side of it. It was a little bit speculative trying to whip that cross court. He could have easily just pushed it straight, given it the old cricket block.
Oh, that's clever. Subtle hold.
6-all.
Oh, fast hands from Bryant. Great weight of shot.
Mr. Momen, please continue. No, I see this is delaying play. 7-all, play on.
Well, he could review.
Really positive here on the volley, Jonah Bryant. Really hunting the ball across the middle, trying to take it early. Oh, and he's just slightly misjudged the narrow angle from Tarek Momen. He's pushed the ball back at himself, Bryant. So he's given a stroke away. A big response from Bryant. He's gotten into that front corner really quickly. Tell you what, it's been a fantastic mental performance here from Bryant. Because you can tell he's struggling. He's starting to struggle physically, but just mentally he's been so solid.
I mean, yeah, there's so much that's impressive about this performance.
Well, and you contrast it, Lisa, with that's a mental error there from Momen.
This is a massive opportunity here. Managing to get
And
the squeeze.
9-all.
Great defense from Bryant. Momen doing his best to keep the pace high, take the ball early. Just trying to give the youngster no time at all. Just pulled that out. He's just pulled that wide right into the path of Bryant.
10-9.
He's feeling this as well, Momen. That was a tough rally to try and impose that pressure and that pace, but Jonah Bryant has a game ball to send this into a fifth. Oh, he went for it.
And out.
Yeah, it was absolutely fearless, Lisa.
Must win
that was
2 points.
That was fading behind Tarek Momen, and he's cut that absolutely inch perfect.
Ten-all. Tight.
He's doing a great job here, Bryant, of getting the ball into the side
walls.
Wow.
Oh, that sliding straight in for a moment.
Court service, please. Please use the towels if necessary. Court service to the right, at the back. Of the right
that was
court,
cool.
Right side of the court. Thank you. Court service. Court service, thank you.
Cross drop from Bryant.
From the left.
Again.
11-10, match ball.
I can see what he was trying to do, not use that variation too much, and thinking at this point in the match was at the right time, but unfortunately Momen's position in the court was right there. Yeah. So match ball for the Egyptian.
This is really where Momen's experience is shining through. He's not panicking. He's producing his best squash on these big rallies.
Oh dear, missed that one.
And out.
Yeah, he's gone for it again, Lisa.
11-all.
It's basically giving it the old, I've made it once, I can make it again. get the feeling, though, that Momen's perked up ever so slightly. Just the body language, it looks ever so slightly more alert.
Tight. Oh, he's gone in again. Chance for Momen.
Yes, let. Yes, 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 let. Player review Moment on the yes, let decision.
Oh, we're going to get a good look at this one, Lisa. It's an interesting one here. He's moved into the path.
Yeah.
Certainly, it's just it comes down to the quality of the shot here. Yeah, I think it's going to stay.
Yeah, it's just slightly unnatural, the movement
has no reviews remaining.
off that
didn't
ball.
Like the movement protecting. No, didn't like the movement protecting the shot. 11-0, right?
He's given him a dead arm
Okay.
with the contact.
Do you need some time for that? It would be a contributory injury. So you would have up to 15 minutes. And you would need to take
Want
it
to
out
take that though at this
once
point
it's
with the.
time. Yeah. So Mr. Bryant has a contributed injury.
I feel, Chris, just at this point, it's within his own rights to keep this rapid, to keep this going, and not have a break. I mean, I don't know how bad his arm feels, obviously, but just with the adrenaline going through his body at this point in the match, I feel the adrenaline's going to help him more than the rest would when everything starts to just switch off. But then again, I don't know how bad the pain in the arm is, obviously. Can't really swing or grip with a dead arm, can you?
Yeah, I think in a lot of ways as well, off of a break, Tarek Momen's probably not the player you want to be playing against, because the ball's going to die down quite substantially, and Tarek Momen is pretty accurate with a dead ball.
So the drop shot going in from Momen, slightly awkward movement off the ball into the path of Bryant, just giving him a dead arm. Yeah, he's clearly in pain straight away. I like his response there though. Fronting up, sticking up for himself.
Are you okay to continue, Mr. Bryant? Yeah. Mr. Bryant is able to continue.
Well, just a quick little break there, Lisa.
Momen has no reviews remaining.
Maybe a little bit of
Bryant
numbing
serving
spray
from
there
the
on the
right,
arm.
11-all.
Just deaden it out a little bit. The old magic spray we see the footballers use.
I don't know, I mean, there's nothing much you can do with a dead arm or a dead leg, is there? It's just time.
No,
But blood flow.
Well, I also kind of think it's sort of a mind game with Momen, you know? I think it was a good tactical break, potentially.
Yeah, particularly how he responded. You know, he was having a chat with the referee, he wasn't happy.
Well, and that is exactly the response Bryant was looking for.
Wasted no time here. It's game ball to Bryant.
Yeah, he's going for it here, Bryant.
He's excited. It's a fine line.
Oh, it's a big get there from the Englishman.
Needs to stay in control here.
Yes, let. Player review, Bryant, on the yes-let decision.
Yeah, I think this is worth a review from Jonah Bryant. Let's get a look at this one, Lisa. I think the question you got to ask is just with the movement of Momen, did Momen go back into the line?
That overhead angle screams stroke to me.
Yeah, it's not the best of shots either.
Yes-let decision upheld. Bryant has one review remaining. 12-11 game ball. Felt the line behind. Yeah, let's play on.
So deemed that there was a line behind. We go again.
There's space here. Oh, he's done
Oh,
well to
wow.
straighten that.
13-11, game to Bryant.
That drop shot from Momen was very edgy. It came in really high compared to his usual drop shots. In swooped Jonah Bryant, straightened up with the speed. That was a fantastic business end from the 19-year-old. We're into the hour. Tied at 2-all. Well, it's been quite the match, hasn't it? It's been fast, furious, ferocious, frantic. It's been very, very high quality as well, Chris. All four corners used. This is the best rally.
Yeah, it's been it's been fantastic, Lisa, and the response from Jonah Bryant once he went 2 games to love down has been absolutely superb. He's gone from strength to strength, and he's actually completely turned the tables on Tarek Momen, and Tarek Momen is starting to look exceedingly edgy.
He's tired as well. I mean, physically, he's finding this very difficult. It looks, obviously, just looking at both of the players, that it's Bryant that's having a tougher time. He's in the trenches, but you can see there, Tarek Momen bent over double. That experience that we talk about, he's just got that ability to hide it a bit more. Points trail there, 3 points in a row. Came off with the dead arm. We were questioning whether that was the right decision, but it worked wonders.
Play resume in 30 seconds.
Yeah, no, he's gotten the tactics absolutely spot on so far, Jonah Bryant. Just a really good balance between the defensive play and the attacking play.
15 seconds.
Well, we've certainly saved the best for last here tonight, Lisa.
Another massive 5-set match for Jonah Bryant. He's gotten his money's worth here in Cleveland.
2 games all. Bryant to serve. Each player has 1 review available. Level.
So the 5th and final game.
Yes-let, level.
Where would you put, based on this performance, where would you put Jonah Bryant in the rankings?
I think I would probably chuck Jonah Bryant in somewhere between 20 and 30 at the moment. And before you jump all over at me in that he's going toe-to-toe with a, top 10 player here, and why have I put him so low? I think it's because it's always a little bit easier to play up your level. And this is a scenario where also when you're a little bit further down the rankings, it's a little bit more awkward for these top players playing you. If they lose to you, it looks really bad. So they really over-tense sometimes. Where I think if you got Jonah Bryant in that 20 to 30 range, he'd have some good wins. He'd have a few losses that he wouldn't be too happy with, but I think he'd be consistently in the trenches, as you said earlier, with those players in that bracket. Now that's for right now for this second half of the season. see how things progress, his level could actually really rapidly improve as well.
His work rate is ridiculous. He looks just, physically, the way he's moving, he looks just as fresh as he did in the first game.
Yeah, no, absolutely. He gets a really good balance between the attacking and the defending, and when he loses a rally, he doesn't get himself too far on the bad end of it, where he's doing so much work that it's actually affecting him for the next couple rallies.
Oh dear.
Yeah, there's a big error, that one. Just snatched at it. Tried to inject a little bit too much pace on the ball.
He does like to do that on the forehand a lot more than the backhand side. Really rip through it. That's a nice finish.
And out.
Yeah, it was an important point there for Bryant, because Momen was starting to grab control of this game.
Just gets set on the ball so early with the swing in the feet.
Yeah, it's a great angle there from Bryant. Just pushed the ball into that front corner, taking all the pace off it.
3-4. No let. No comments, thank you. No let. Needed to look for the ball. 4-4.
It did look initially to me, distance to the ball was too great.
I saw a stroke, maybe I can't see.
Let's play on. 4-4.
Stuck pretty deep there. What do you think, Chris?
Yeah, I think it was also just how he tried to sell it after the contact as well.
Let's play on. 4-4. Mr. Momen, conduct warning, delaying play. Let's play on. 4-4.
I think he does need to be a little careful here, though, Momen. Because it's just one of those where Bryant is starting to come back at him. Momen looked pretty good at the start of this game, and if Bryant is able to gain some confidence here and start finding ways to create real pressure, and then Momen begins to fall out of grace with the referee and get penalized, it's a bit of a tough combination.
There's that pressure accumulating now for Momen.
5-4.
And this is that area where Momen can either get it really right or he can get it really wrong. And it's a very fine line between the two.
Just good squeeze for
And out,
Momen.
5-all.
2-all, 5-all. There's nothing in it. Just stayed in.
Yes, patient work here from Bryant along that side wall.
Yes, lad. Yes, lad. Yeah, that was good. From the right, 5-all.
Such maturity in his game already, Bryant.
Down.
Yeah, he got on the bad end of that one, Bryant. He just
You okay?
sprayed the ball out into the middle, and someone of Momen's
6-5.
experience is going to make the court really big. Going to make him do some really big lunging motions. Slipped a bit there at the end as well, catching his foot on Momen's heel.
Stroke to
Yeah, I'm
Momen.
just so impressed. Giving away the stroke though, Chris, but I'm just so impressed with how he's digging in here. He's just
7-5.
hanging on physically. He is in such distress. But he's showing nowhere near the amount of pain that he's in.
Yeah, he really gets the shot selection right to put himself under very minimal amounts of pressure. Got to think, though, he must be getting close to cramping. Oh, and it's a massive lunge there. He's just
Yeah, he's
misjudged
got
it a
cramp.
bit.
It's
Left
cramp
side.
in that left quad.
Yeah, the wheels are coming off here, Lisa.
I mean, they had to at some point, surely. 2 massive 5-set matches already coming into this. And we're now surely around the 73-minute mark in this match.
Down.
That's some shot.
And out. 6-9.
Just been really patient here, Momen, isn't he? He's not taking on anything too high risk.
Yeah, no, Momen's got a really good balance here in this 5th game. Really didn't panic. And he's sensing the physical distress Jonah Bryant's in. Just being patient.
Stroke to Momen.
Oh, he's really cramping up.
And out, 10-6, match ball.
Yeah, he's really struggling here, Jonah Bryant. He's just not able to straighten that quad at all.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, it certainly looks really uncomfortable.
Oh, dear. Poor guy. Still also trying to give Momen a clap.
Yeah, I can't decide if this is really sporting on Momen's part or really cruel, just letting him wallow in the pain a few seconds longer.
Oh dear.
And
Oh
out,
gosh.
7-10, match ball.
3 match balls remain, and I can't take my eyes off Jonah Bryant. I told you I'd make that mistake at least once tonight. I mean, this is very reminiscent, this physical performance, of something we've seen from Jonah Bryant.
Well, it just shows the mental fortitude of Jonah Bryant. Even with the cramp and everything, he's getting the tactics right here. He's not making this easy for Momen. He's not giving Momen anything really feasible to attack him into the front corners.
Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh.
11-7, match to Momen.
I mean,
3 games to 2.
What
11-8,
a valiant effort.
6-11,
Simply
11-13,
so impressive for a 19-year-old. Left absolutely everything he had in the tank out there. That's a performance to be incredibly proud of. A tournament to be incredibly proud of. The recovery is going to have to be spot on. Thankfully, the physio's here. 7 to 8 minutes, and Jonah Bryant has sent a massive message to the squash tour. Tarek Momen just getting through by the skin of his teeth. We're going to hear from him down with Nicole.
Jonah had a lot of minutes coming into this match in his legs already, and it took you 5 games to finally break them. Eventually you did.
Yeah, I can't believe what he was doing coming back the way he did after those 2 tough matches he had. I mean, probably those are perks of being 18 years old or 19. My God, I'm almost 37 now. I can't take this anymore. I think this is the hardest match physically that I've played in a long time. I haven't been pushed on court. Like, I'd either lose quicker than this or win quicker than this, but I haven't played this long in a while. Very happy with the way I managed to regroup in the end. I thought I was playing super well first 2 games, and then my length dropped significantly, and I was very disappointed with that. 3rd and 4th games, the length just wasn't going back the way I wanted, and he took full advantage, and he kept coming back at me. but I still couldn't believe the amount of effort he kept putting on court. I mean, even if my length wasn't the best, I was still putting some pressure on, and there were rallies in the fourth where I felt like he should have broken down by then, but he still hung in there and managed to win it. So yeah, I think experience played the role tonight, and thankfully me not playing 3-2 matches worked in my favor despite my age.
Well, your age certainly didn't show. Well, we've got Kent here from Urban Squash, and he's got a question to ask you.
What helped you prepare for playing a 19-year-old tonight?
It's a good question.
Yeah, well, I thought, he had the muscles and the energy, and I have the experience. I thought this should work in my favor. But yeah, he's also, he's playing superbly well for his age. I actually remember watching him play maybe 6 or 7 years ago when he was this little. I remember he had long hair, he was playing the British Junior Opens, and I watched his final under 13s, and I thought, this kid is gonna be something. Yeah, I swear, I never told him that, but I remember him very well with the long hair. But then I didn't expect to be competing against him because I was already in my 30s when he was playing under 13, so yeah, those kids are maturing pretty quickly.
Well, it certainly doesn't show. You still move around the court like you're 19. So terrific performance. Certainly gave the crowd something to cheer for, which is amazing, and we will see you on Saturday in the semifinals. Tarek Momen, everybody. So today was the first half.